They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. They do not want any. AJ Styles.
I'm a Mack truck. Gonna get run over. Blue collar boy. I don't know. It's a dumbass song.
I really wish those were the lyrics. Just like that. Said like that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. AJ Styles was on NXT this week. Hot damn. And he's in a feud with Grayson Waller.
As you do.
Is he going to be doing something permanently on NXT? I don't know what's happening. But let's talk about it. Welcome to the WrestleTalk Podcast review of NXT 2.0. I am Chopper Pete Quinnell, and I'm joined as always by my intangible co-host Tempest.
Boom.
AJ Styles was on this
episode.
Right? Now, you know, initially I was like, whoa, AJ on NXT, that's awesome. That's great. And then I was like, that is good that AJ's on it because AJ's great. And, you know, I'm sure if he wrestles anyone on NXT, they're going to probably have a very good match because it's AJ Styles. And then I was like, you know, I really wanted AJ on NXT in like 2018.
Yep.
But now, can you imagine AJ on like a takeover? You know?
I know, right?
Having like a big match against Adam Cole or something like that. Can you imagine that? But we get AJ Styles and Grayson Waller, which isn't really what I want. Just it's a bit of a shame, you know? It's just a bit of a shame.
A little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit. I mean, but I will be perfectly honest. AJ Styles showing up here, I thought was very refreshing still. Just because I was just like, ooh, a star. A star that we don't have to worry about NXT trying to make. Which is rough. But I mean, it's AJ Styles. And anytime I get to see AJ Styles on a show that I don't normally get to see AJ Styles on, I'm like, oh boy, it's AJ Styles. So that gets a thumbs up in itself. Everything else, I'm just like, interesting choices being made. I don't know if he's going to stick around, and that will kind of shape my opinion of everything that he's been doing in NXT so far.
Yeah. So this happened because on social media, Grayson Waller made fun of AJ's hair, which is already off to a hot start as to why AJ has come down to NXT. AJ then came out. They had a conversation with Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller had attacked Dexter Lumis with a chair. Dexter Lumis then vanished during an ad break, and AJ came out. And they had a promo confrontation where AJ was like, hey, Grayson Waller, you're like me. And I'm like, no, he isn't. That's a lie, AJ. But sure. You know, I know what they were trying to do. It feels very, like, superficial to me. Yeah. It's just like, you wear, you know, an elbow pad and you wear gloves. Therefore,
that's
you are
not
AJ
the point of AJ Styles.
No, exactly. That's fundamentally misunderstanding who AJ Styles is, but sure. And he was saying, you know, AJ quoted Grayson Waller, be like, wins and losses don't matter. It's like, please stop saying that. I know it's Grayson Waller's thing, but please stop saying the thing.
Makes me want to watch the show less. Yeah, and that's impressive considering the show that this is.
Yeah, tell me about it. But then Grayson Waller was like, "Oh, I could beat you up right now," and AJ was like, "Okay, go on then." And then Grayson Waller was like, no, I'll let Omos beat you up first, and then I've got next." Was basically how it ended. What
a bitch!
Yeah, so like
a punk bitch.
Is this leading to an actual match between the two? I mean, I hope so. That's what it's building to organically. I have no faith in them actually paying it off, but fingers crossed this actually leads to a match because I'm assuming it will be okay because it's got AJ Styles in it. What do you make of this whole AJ and NXT thing?
Basically how we've said already. Like, I would have liked to have seen AJ Styles show up in NXT in like 2017, 2018. Like, how is it possible? Because this is how I know that WWE/NXT don't actually care about putting on, like, dream matches and whatnot. How did we never get AJ Styles versus Johnny Gargano in the last 5 years? You know, matches like that. Where I was like, that is such an easy, like, lob home run. Like, it's right there. Just easy swing. Bang. There you go. 5-star match guaranteed. I would have liked to have seen that. But if I'm getting Grayson Waller, okay, I'll roll with that. That's the situation that we're in. If we get a match at like New Year's Evil between the two, I'll be like, yeah, all right, solid little thing. That being said, considering how much heat Grayson Waller should have after beating up Johnny Gargano in a very emotional segment, I'd rather they don't make these stupid promo segments about you've got my mom's haircut. You know, I would rather these things be like a lot more emotionally driven than they are. But I also know that I'm watching a WWE product and they're not good at emotional storytelling. So I'm not going to like get super worked up thinking about it. So it's fine. I mean, it's a WWE rivalry, and I'm just going to be thankful that I've got someone as talented as AJ Styles involved this time.
Yeah, totally. I mean, with the whole AJ and Omos splitting up on Raw, and they're going to have a match next week, I think, on next week's episode of Raw. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with AJ. Maybe he'll just come down to NXT for a bit to have this whole like Grayson Waller program and go back up. Do you think he's going to go to NXT full time? Do you think he's going to move to NXT entirely? Can you imagine AJ Styles in NXT 2.0?
No, not
really.
Like, he walked out and I was literally like, there's a star. Like, he felt like so much more important than anyone else on this show.
Yeah.
By a significant margin as well. I was like, wow, there's AJ Styles. What's AJ Styles doing in the NXT zone? I don't know. I think he will be in NXT until New Year's Evil. I think he'll wrestle Grayson Waller, and that'll probably be it. You know, just give NXT New Year's Evil like a little bump, a little AJ Styles bump. And then after that, he'll go back, because apparently they've got big plans for him in 2022. I hope that they do, because I've been tired of watching AJ Styles as a tag team with the great Khali, you know, for the last year. So if I get some really good singles matches from AJ Styles, I'm going to be a happy camper. I don't think we're going to get a ton of those in NXT, probably only just one.
So do you think that they have big plans for AJ and Omos? So do you think they have big plans for Omos?
I think they have big plans for AJ and Omos, and they're going to watch Omos have like 2 singles matches and be like, well, enough of that.
It's possible. Yeah.
You know, never mind. He's going to win the Royal Rumble and win the title.
He's going to win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Who can possibly eliminate Omos?
I know. Who could get that man over the top rope?
He's going to beat Big E for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
It's Christmas, Pete. Why are you depressing me?
Do you want to know something better? He beats Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be so good. Can't wait. Look how big he is, pal.
He's so tall. Have you not seen him, Tempest? He's so tall.
He's so tall.
Yeah. We're getting away from the point here of AJ, but because I don't know what AJ is going to do after this whole Omos thing. I'd like to believe they have big plans for him. I personally don't buy it. I don't buy that they have big plans for anyone at any point in time. You know, Vince McMahon is high on this person is something that's been provably untrue time after time after time. He will change his mind like the weather, and it will just fizzle out into nothing. So I don't know what AJ is going to do after this. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him more in NXT because I genuinely think he could really help people there, and he's going to put on great matches because he's AJ Styles. So yeah, I'm not opposed to seeing him here. This was nice. I would have preferred this not be around AJ's hair, but you know, it's better than what we get normally.
Yeah. That's basically it. I mean, if I had my way, like, yeah, AJ Styles versus Pete Dunne, AJ Styles versus Carmelo Hayes. There are matches in NXT I would like to see AJ Styles have. I just don't know that we're going to get all of them or any of them, really. I think we're probably going to get the one with Grayson Waller and be told, be grateful that you got that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me at all. But let's get into some of your Ultrachats here. Send those in at WrestleTalk.com patreon.com/support. Get those in, and we're going to read out all the ones that are $5 and up before the show goes off the air today. Lakshmi Narasimhan B says, today was okay. Breaks my heart to say that about an NXT show. Feel bad for most of 1.0. Terrible for Joe. Also, if Vince doesn't want a no-cut clause, the independent contractors could negotiate to reduce/remove the no-compete clause, I guess. I don't know.
You know what would be really good for something like that? A union!
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that a crazy concept? Never gonna happen.
No, not at all. Yeah. I feel bad for most of 1.0 as well. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Jonathan Edmond.
Samoa Joe.
Crazy, isn't it? Remember he won the title this year?
Yeah, he did.
Wild. Remember when we were really excited about that?
Yeah.
When he kind of came out of retirement, we were like, oh my God, Samoa Joe!
Wow, Samoa Joe. And he's like, oh, I'll give this up and I'll be back. And then he wasn't. Never hear from this man again.
Nope. Jonathan Hedman says, can someone please explain to me if I'm supposed to cheer or boo Cora Jade? Also, this time of the year can be depressing. Please know there is help out there, and maybe take a moment to reach out to people you haven't talked to in a while and say hi. Good point, Jonathan Hedman. Do that this time of year. It's nice to be nice. I believe you're supposed to cheer Cora Jade.
I would think so. She's a skateboarder. Yes. Kids like that, right?
Indeed. And she is feisty and wants to fight for the title, which is fine.
Yeah.
Great point, Dan Hursty. Where's Timothy Thatcher?
That is a good point. I think that every once in a while. What? I saw someone say that Andre Chase is just Timothy Thatcher, but WWE-ified. And I was like, wow, he really is, isn't he? You know?
God. Sure, yeah.
Timothy Thatcher's just Andre Chase, but good.
Yeah. Yeah, I could buy that.
Yeah.
Lakshmi there at Simhan B says, people say WWE and NXT are not wrestling shows, but there is a wrestling ring. Thanks a lot for that, Tempest. Now we're going to get NXT 3.0 without a ring. Hashtag LIW is fine, I guess. LIW is fine. Thank you very much.
So fine.
Yes.
It's so fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh.
It's really
I wouldn't be surprised. Eventually WWE will just get rid of the ring. They don't want wrestling matches on their shows.
No, they don't.
The wrestling is an inconvenience on NXT.
Yeah, totally.
Jiminy Christmas. Like, just go make movies.
Yeah.
Go make your stupid, terrible Marine movies if that's what you want to do. Goodness me.
Zoey Sung says, Mandy Rose, the beautiful Pokemon. This Pokemon is the evolved form of Gardevoir. This Pokemon is just so pretty, Pete. Also, welcome back. You both work with boomers. Yes.
Damn, that's not very nice.
But also true.
Yeah.
Kind of. And Mandy Savage has been a member for 8 months in a row.
Woo!
Thank you. Says, I want to apologize to Pete and Tempest for my NXT apologist stance in 2021. Watched NXT for 3 weeks and it legit sucks. You aren't just being grumpy. Thank you. That's incredibly vindicating.
Thank you, Mandy. Yeah, the show's not great.
It's not the best, yes. But we're going to start off talking about some positive things when we get into the first part of this show. Let's go through the actual rest of the show review here. Keep sending in your Ultrachats at WrestleTalk.com/support. We'll go through all the ones that are $10 and up by the time the show. $10? $5 and up by the time the show goes off the air. We start off with a promo with Tommaso Ciampa and Bron Breakker. More of a Tommaso Ciampa promo, and Bron Breakker was there. But Ciampa agreed that Bron Breakker was owed and earned another shot at the title at New Year's Evil. But he said, well, this time, let's hope you don't drown like you did last time. I exposed you last time. And now we're going to go take 2. And you're not ready to take this title. You're not ready to go home and go hoo. And he was saying, previous champions like Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura and KO and him, they worked the indies for like 10 years and then spent another 10 years in WWE before they even got a chance to be the champion. You've only been here, You've only had, 10, 20 matches rather than been here for 10 to 20 years. But he slaps Bron and he goes a bit too far. So Bron Breakker presses him above his head, but then he just puts him down and then says that blood is in the water and he's going to win the title at New Year's Evil.
I thought this segment was great. I thought this was really good. I thought Tommaso Ciampa, keep being corrected. Tommaso Ciampa. I thought he cut a really good promo. He made me want to see the match, which is the point of these promos. And I feel like that gets lost in WWE a lot. But he made me want to see this match. I still don't think that first match they had really advanced the story that much and really didn't do that much for either guy. But that being said, this second match, I have to imagine that Braun Breaker's going to win the title. If he doesn't, I will be completely shocked. But his promo was like, I thought that everybody did a really good job of like playing their characters and being realistic. Tommaso Ciampa was really intense and going on, just kind of berating Braun Breaker. It's like, no, don't speak. I'm just going to talk at you for a few minutes, And Braun Breaker's just sitting there. He's just kind of taking it. Eventually, Ciampa slaps him, and then he's gone too far. And now you've poked the bear one too many times, and Braun Breaker snaps and goes and almost kills him. And then he's just like, no, I'm taking this title from you. I was just like, I don't know. It all flowed very well. I thought it was all very realistic. I think Braun Breaker looked good, and I'm interested. I'm still interested to see him win the title, and I think it's going to happen this time.
That's totally fair. I don't think I liked it quite as much as you did. I did like it. I thought it was a good opening promo segment, and it did make me want to see the match, which is a big plus. I'm honestly a bit bored of seeing Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa talk about the title, because that's all they've done since NXT has become 2.0. Is it's just been talking about Braun Breaker becoming NXT champion, and that was in September. It's now December, and we're still doing the same thing. It's like, I know this is a long-term story, but I would have preferred a break from Halloween Havoc to then Braun Breaker challenging again. And technically the break was War Games, but it was still Braun Breaker talking about Ciampa and the title. So like,
the break was Braun Breaker saying, I'm going to work my way back to being NXT number one contender again. And then he had like one match. He's like, all right, I'm here.
Legit. So it's like, it just feels like it's been a lot, That's my only gripe is I'm just getting people. It's like, Ciampa's here. I guess he's going to talk about Braun Breaker. Here comes Braun Breaker. They're going to talk about the title for a bit. Cool. And like, I get it. It was good, but I just wanted a bit of separation between all of the NXT title stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
We then got Grayson Waller insulting AJ's hair, which was on social media, but they played it on this episode. And then we got a street fight between Raquel Gonzales and Dakota Kai, which started immediately backstage. Like it was like one of those things where it's like, coming up next, we're going to have the street fight. And they were walking backstage, but then the match just started backstage. It was just them just fighting for a bit. Kai came in and started like ambushing her from the back, and then they just started fighting backstage. And I'm actually quite glad they carried on. They were like, well, I guess we're going to stay with the action then, because I thought they were just going to cut straight to an ad break. But no, they actually stayed with the action for a little while. Did a few minutes of brawling backstage. There was a couple of really good looking spots. A lot of stuff when they have backstage brawls, a lot of it is like, I'm going to throw you into this wall, and I'm going to throw you into this wall, and I'm going to bounce your head off this thing. And that was about it. But this one, I feel like they got quite creative. There was a lot of throwing in stuff that looked pretty nasty to take. There was like shoving other like stuff into it and hitting them with weapons and all sorts of stuff that was going on backstage. I thought it looked pretty good. And then during the ad break, they went out to the ring that was in a picture-in-picture, so you didn't actually miss it as well. Went out to the ring, and the match got underway. There's an awful lot of spots in this one. Goodness me. There was a lot of superficial fun stuff of just weapons and beatdowns and all sorts of stuff. And Raquel Gonzales won with a big choke powerbomb onto a trash can, which was very good. Good fun.
I thought this was fun. This was like, all right, it's the week of Christmas. Here's some candy. Watch this turn your brain off fun match. It's a blow-off match. These two have been feuding for a long time. It's kind of what you want out of something like this. And I like that they were... The match basically started backstage as far as like the story of the match. It's not like, oh, they got in a fight and then they got mad and then they separate and they go to the ring. It's like, no, they just started fighting backstage. That's fine. Also, I really started paying attention to the referees trying to break up the fight backstage.
Please don't.
I was really paying attention to them. All of them at like a 3 out of 10 intensity going, come on, guys. Come on. Get to the ring. Come on. Come on, guys. Like, they had a pull string in their back just to say, come on, guys.
Yep.
Goodness me.
Get to the ring. The match hasn't even started yet. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Don't fight. Come on, guys.
Why can't we all just be friends? Come on.
Yeah, it's like two referees. Just like, you can't break up a fight between two wrestlers and your two referees. Bad referees then. But yeah, no, I mean it was a good match. There were some spots where, and this is me kind of nitpicking, but it's also like this just wrestling. They teach you in wrestling that if you're like, you've got your back turned to somebody and they're starting their charge, you want to turn and face them as you're getting hit. Right? So that you don't have the moment of like, I see you coming and you then hit me and I look stupid for not, reacting appropriately. Yeah. I felt like there were a lot of those moments in this match where it's like Dakota Kai's just looking at Raquel Gonzales running at her for 2 seconds with a big thing, you know, and I was like, get out of the way, move. none of that ever happened. So I was just like, man, it's just my wrestling brain not fully turning off watching this dumb, fun street fight. But still, it was a fun match and I enjoyed it. And I'm glad that hopefully now Raquel and Dakota Kai can find other things to do.
And it seems like they are, because immediately after the match finished, Raquel said, I'm calling out Mandy Rose. I want a title match. And then we cut to an ad break. And I was like, what's the betting that everything's going to be in exactly the same spot when we come back?
Oh, we got a promo beforehand.
Yeah, we got a promo. Ad break, comeback. Tony D'Angelo has a promo against Pete Dunne. And then Raquel Gonzales is in the ring and goes, what Mandy Rose is like, you did that. You already said that before the ad break. What are you on about?
Can you imagine if this was real?
No, I can't.
And you have like your top women's star in the ring going, I want a title match and I want it now. I want it tonight. I'm taking my title back. And they go, oh my God, we get a commercial. We'll be right back. And they come back and like, okay, but let's hear from Tony D'Angelo first. Like, that would never happen. Oh God.
But Mandy Rose did not come out. It was Cora Jade that came out instead. And she was like, hey, I want a title match. And then Raquel was like,
me first.
I want a title match. And then Mandy Rose came up on the Titantron and she said, I'm in the giving mood, so it's going to be a triple threat at New Year's Evil. Sure. Just, this is probably nitpicking, but also I feel like characters' motivations matter. Why would Mandy Rose want a triple threat?
I was going to ask the exact same thing. Yeah. I do not have a single clue why this heel champion would be like, you know what? I will take on both of you at the same time. That just don't make no sense.
No, it does not. It just doesn't fly for me. You know, if they want to do a triple threat, by all means, triple threat sounds like a great idea with these three people. I think it makes total sense for the match to happen. Just get a different way of getting there. That's not Mandy Rose saying, I'll do that.
Yeah, you know who could announce this match instead? William Regal.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Who last I checked still exists. I don't know where or when or how somewhere. Or why.
Yeah.
Why is William Regal?
Why is William Regal? I don't even know. Why did you say
William Regal? Oh, William Regal.
It's nearly Christmas, Tempest. Leave me alone.
Oh, I'm changing my Twitter name to William Regal.
William Regal.
Oh, that's good.
One thing that I liked, because I was a bit annoyed about, was that during the street fight, they'd set up a table in the corner of the ring and then didn't use it. And I was like, guys, you can't set up a table and not use it. That's ridiculous. But then Gigi Jolin and JC Jane came out and put Raquel Gonzales through the table that they'd set up previously. And I was like, oh, thank God. They actually used it. That's good. At least they paid off on that. So that was a minor thing. I was like, that's a thumbs up. Well done.
Oh, crying. I'm crying.
William Regal.
William Regal.
As someone who as someone who did not watch NXT last week because I was away and have not caught up on it since because I don't want to, we then got a recap of Harland throwing Brian Kendrick down some stairs, and I was like, wait, what? What the hell is this?
Whole thing has pissed me off so much. You realize how hard I had to work to make that wrestlers who had their last matches in 2021 list with Brian Kendrick on it, because like, yeah, retired. As soon as we put that video out, he's like, I'm coming back. I was like, God damn it, Brian.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have a match with Harland next week.
Cool. I like Brian Kendrick. I'm not that upset.
Me too. Joe Gacy cut a promo saying that it was basically Kendrick's fault for getting chucked down the stairs. Cool. I then wrote, why are Grizzled Young Veterans effing dweebs now?
I would love someone to answer that question. It's like when the Revival got called up to the main roster, but that part hasn't happened. NXT just is the main roster now.
Yeah.
You know?
They had a backstage segment looking at the Creed brothers, and then we had Indy Hartwell, Persia Porter, and Grayson Waller did a thing, and then I wrote sure whatever because it doesn't matter. And then we had Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Creed brothers. I don't want to talk about this segment because it was bad. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you my notes very quickly, and then we're going to talk about something else, which was here's my notes. Jacket time. They have their own little commentary table. I'm too tired for this. Briggs and Jensen. I'm too tired for this. Match ends in DQ. Great. What a great use of our time. That was my notes for the match. So instead, what I want to talk about, Tempest. I got a nice little hamper from work. Thanks, work. Oh, yeah. They gave me a hamper. So I'm going to go through the stuff I got. Maybe to do some taste tests. I don't know. I'm just curious about all the things.
To you? I was like, a laundry hamper?
As in, it's an amalgamation of various things. In this case, it's a Christmas hamper, so it is festive stuff. So, for example, got mini bites, cheddar and chili. Mini bites.
Right. Sit tight for 1 second.
All right.
Sit tight. I'll grab my hamper.
Oh, please do. Yeah. So these little nibbly bites, they're great. Chili and cheddar. And you know what?
Let it snow, Pete.
They're great. Let it snow. I agree. They are great. I've had some of these already. They're amazing.
I had a little box of little gourmet chocolates come out of this thing. They're basically like Lindors. I don't know if y'all have that or not. They might be a North American and or Canadian thing, but they were quite good. So that was good. I got some gourmet shortbread cookies. Oh,
nice.
Which I have not opened yet, but you know what? Screw it. What better time than instead of talking about a stupid tag team with racist jokes.
I agree.
Oh my, there's a lot of cookies in here. I thought there was going to be like 1 or 2 big cookies, but no, it's a whole pack of cookies.
Oh, hell yeah.
A whole pack of cookies.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a lot of cookies. I like shortbread cookies very much.
Same.
So.
It's also interesting hearing the different vernacular because you have cookies as opposed to we probably call them biscuits, but you know, same stuff, I think.
Last I checked should be the same thing. Our biscuits are like scones.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. Yes. Here's a question for you, Tempest, because I've eaten the vast majority of this particular thing, but I've left one of them in particular for this.
Sure.
If I asked you to use a few words to describe the texture of a brownie, what would you use?
The look of it, the taste of it, the smell of it, the texture. Hopefully soft, hopefully a little bit melty, a little bit, just kind of like falls apart in your mouth a little bit.
See, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with all of these words, okay?
Yes.
But according to what I got, these are, according to this, chocolate chip brownies. It's not even focusing on it. Chocolate chip brownies. That's what it said, right? Yeah. Great. It's not a brownie.
That's a cookie.
You want to hear how hard this is?
Oh dear.
That's not a brownie.
That's not a brownie at all. It's not even close to a brownie.
Not even close. Don't lie to me. It's still delicious, but it's just not a brownie.
Yeah.
It's just a lie.
Yeah. It's not a brownie.
Is what it is.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
What else we got? These are taped together. Get out of there. I got a little gingerbread man.
Nice.
A little gingerbread man. And also what I believe is hot chocolate mix.
Oh, good. Nice.
Dark chocolate bar hot chocolate mix, which is very exciting.
Nice.
That's good. Sure. Perhaps that could be a little Christmas treat. Let's
I'm just gonna do one more thing for now. And I've got like another load of stuff which we'll do later for another segment that I don't want to talk about.
It's funny how many of those there are on this show.
There's a few, yeah. But these Yorkshire crisps, tomato, basil, and mozzarella.
Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Whoop-de-doo, Basil. That is two.
That's two Austin Powers references in one show. How about that? Who throws the cupcake?
Honestly. Tomato, basil, and mozzarella.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? These are pretty good. Also, this thing is like full. I was expecting there to be a lot of air. This is like full. This is great.
I've decapitated my gingerbread man.
You sure did, buddy. Good God.
Also, the last thing that I got in this thing, just for the sake of wrapping this up, is some white chocolate peppermint popcorn.
Ooh. I've never heard those words in combination before, but it sounds delightful.
Me neither. Very interested to try it. Why is this gingerbread man like vaguely spicy?
I mean, ginger has like a kind of tang to it sometimes.
A little bit, but like my tongue's tingling right now. It's like, what? What is happening right now? What kind of aphrodisiac is it
expired?
I don't know. What has this been laced with?
Yeah. But anyway, there was that tag match, ended in DQ. Carmelo Hayes cut a promo. Trick Williams then did a promo, and then Dexter Lumis came on the TV that was backstage, and then he stared at them.
Merry Christmas. Sick of this shit.
Yeah, makes sense.
We're back. Yep. I thought we were past this. I thought Dexter Lumis and I had grown together over this year. It's been a long journey. Me hating everything that Dexter Lumis has done to me tolerating Dexter Lumis, and me watching the Index wedding and being like, oh, what a lovely moment. No, he's still doing his dumb ass stupid wrestling, and I don't like it. He's appearing on TVs and looking at Trick Williams because apparently he's magic. Stupid.
Yep, very stupid. They had a match. Roderick Strong was watching for some reason, and then he brawled with Carmelo Hayes, and then Dexter Lumis won. But also, we then got the announcement later on in the night. We might as well talk about it now. Where there was a promo where Diamond Mine were cutting a promo saying that they wanted to do a title versus title match at New Year's Evil, Strong versus Hayes. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yep.
That sounds good. And that's meaningful. That's something that's going to happen. A title is definitely going to change hands. Like, that's a nice thing. And then later on in the show, right before the main event, we got told that it's actually a title unification match. And I was like, that's very different than a title versus title match. You really need to tell me which one it is, because they're very different things. I'm pretty sure it is title unification, and they're going to be getting rid of the Cruiserweight title because Carmelo Hayes is going to win.
Remember when they had big plans for the Cruiserweight division?
I was just going to say that. Good God.
God, what a run the Cruiserweight title has had.
What a run. Do you remember when it was really good, when you had like Leo Rush and Angel Garza and stuff like that surrounding it? That was really good.
Remember Santos Escobar holding this title for like a year?
And like really Kushida had it for a bit. That was nice.
Yeah, he had a little open challenge deal for a while. That was really cool.
So you know when they have big plans for Omos and AJ Styles, is it the same big plans they got for the Cruiserweight title?
You tell me that Omos is going to get fired 2 weeks later?
I mean, maybe. You never know.
We don't want to see people lose their jobs, but with this company...
No, you never know, do you? Zoey Stark is at rehab. I've not missed Zoey Stark. Sorry.
Why are she and Io Shirai still hanging out?
I don't know.
Io Shirai doesn't like her. You're not a tag team anymore. You don't have to be around each other. Don't understand this show.
And they still did the same thing of, oh, you're sticking up for me. You like me. And he was like, no, I don't. It's like, I don't care. No. Please stop with the same joke.
You can do that gag if it leads to them showing that Io Shirai actually does like Zoey Stark and be like, oh, she did like her all along. But it's been like 6 months and they're never going to do that.
Yeah.
So you can't just set up the joke and not pay it off for 6 months before I stop caring. Ha ha! I'm long past that point. I'm having another cookie.
Also, after the Dexter Lumis and Trick Williams match, Grayson Waller came out and hit Dexter with a chair once, and then he died, I think. Just kind of collapsed in the ring and was just out. Then they cut to an ad break and came back, and it was the AJ Styles thing, and Dexter Lumis had vanished. That was the AJ promo that we've already spoken about.
If anyone on this show is just going to vanish, it's probably him.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. We then have the next bit that I don't want to talk about, which is MSK and Riddle.
Oh my God.
They had another thing, which again, I'm not going to talk about because it doesn't make any sense. I don't care about it. So I'm just going to show you my notes for this again very quickly, which is MSK and Riddle. They're going to call out Imperium next week, and then they all died, but it was a dream, and then it wasn't, and then it says best day ever. What the F?
This might have been the most nonsensical segment I may have ever
sure
seen.
Was. There was magic. There was an awful lot of stuff that didn't make any sense. I don't care about it. Why are they going to go for Imperium when they've not had another match since they've lost the titles and the whole tag team division heating up thing? This is more than I wanted to talk about this. I'm going to talk about my hamper. What else have I got?
Like this series of segments has all been about weed. They're all smoking. They're getting real. They want some munchies. They're ride around on scooters. I think the writers were all smoking some of that reefer before they wrote all this garbage.
Just very quickly, for someone in the chat who said, what was so bad about the Grizzly Young Vets segment that we're not talking about it? It was a long tag match that ended in a DQ. It was very stupid. It had Jacket Time being Japanese, and that's the joke, is that they're Japanese. It's very stupid. This was awful. This was really bad. But you know what's hopefully not awful is these chili and lime peanuts I've got.
Chili and lime?
Yeah,
sounds lovely.
Lime. Yeah,
so makes me want a jalapeno popper.
Good call. Let's see if these are any good. These are pretty good.
Woo!
Nice. Got more of that to look forward to later.
Ooh, Kaiba boy.
I've got some pralines. I'm loving this cream. This is great.
For an ice cream flavor, he'd be pralines and dick. I'm just quoting Mike Myers movies apparently today.
Apparently, yeah. What are you doing in my squad?
I was like, all right, what can I
what's next?
What can I quote from Shrek? Saw The Love Guru once. I wish I didn't. I don't think I remember a single line from that movie, so I guess it's not relevant.
These are like Lindor. They're amazing. Hot damn. That's cool. More stuff I've got. What else have we got? More chocolate stuff. Handmade in England.
I
don't even know what these are. It's just these.
They look good.
They look like chocolates with something. I'm gonna have some of them in a bit. I've got some fudge. This is a hell of a hamper, by the way. Got some fudge.
It is a hell of a hamper.
Christmas spice luxury fudge. Love that.
Spiced fudge.
Yeah. Crazy. I've got a thing I'm not gonna eat right now, but a big Christmas pudding.
Christmas pudding.
Christmas pudding. It's gigantic. Look at the size of it. It's huge. Mince pies. 4 of them.
Goodness, how much stuff was in this hamper?
Dude, tell me about it. But most importantly, the thing I am going to test right now as well, that's a bottle of wine.
Oh, I got a bottle of wine in mine too.
Oh, might as well have some.
I mean, after this show, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is actually really good. Hot damn. I know, like I like rosé and not much else. So I was expecting to not actually like this, but that's actually really good. Delightful.
This show has gone off the rails.
Good. I much prefer
a crazy train.
Also, this morning I mentioned on a couple of things I've recorded today. This is just going to stay here now. I had this morning while I was doing some work. I had on the Christmas special that's going to be going up on Christmas Day that we recorded a couple of weeks ago. I had it on in the background because it's on the back end of the WrestleTalk Podcast channel right now because it's going up on Christmas Day and it's all scheduled and stuff. So I had it on the background. I was watching it. It's not a good video. It's just not good.
It never is.
Just the audio is really bad. Like as always, it's real bad. We do a lot of singing. There's a lot of crosstalk. At one point, I'm wearing the clip-on mic, and I leave without taking the clip mic off. So I'm just talking down like the corridor away from the studio for a bit. It's real bad. It's great. Also, this wine is delightful. I genuinely might go get a glass and actually pour myself a glass of wine because, I mean, why the hell not, right?
Christmas, who cares?
Would you like to talk about Von Wagner versus Edris Enofe for me, Tempest?
Not particularly. It was a short match. Robert Stone still exists. Robert Stone is scouting Von Wagner for some reason. Robert Stone only likes not talented people, I suppose. And then Edris Enofe won, beat Von Wagner. They can't even push Von Wagner right. And then after the match, Von Wagner beat him up and brushed past Robert Stone. And Robert Stone was like, yeah, that's my guy. Nothing about this makes sense. Ooh, listen to that ASMR.
Delightful.
This show's so dumb.
Cheers.
Like, I could wrap this match, the stupid tag match with the stupid Japanese commentary desk, and the match we haven't gotten to with Elektra Lopez and Io Shirai. I could wrap all of them up. It pisses me off because the NXT mid-card is just like, we have ideas for skits and we use matches for backdrops. And I'm sorry, but as someone who likes wrestling, that really pisses me off.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I would rather just watch these matches and have them tell me a story in the context of the matches and not be like, well, here's the match where we can have Robert Stone come out and be scouting somebody and it won't make any sense. And then later it's like, oh, we need to work the Zion Quinn romance angle. So we'll just do that in the match and the match won't matter. And then, oh, we got a tag team match. That's where we can have jacket time comedy. Give me some friggin' wrestling. Please.
Yeah, the only thing that can clearly make Von Wagner better is Robert Stone.
God, if you made me not want to see Von Wagner more, it's putting him with Robert Stone.
Legit. 100%.
Holy smokes.
I put Enofe wins and then gets beaten up by Wagner. What is the point of any of this? Seriously, who is getting over?
I know I just said that you could make me care about him less by putting him with Robert Stone. I don't think I could care about Von Wagner less. he's losing to Edris Enofe. And granted, I'd rather see Edris Enofe getting pushed, but that's not what's happening here. That's not the point. The point is not getting Edris Enofe over by beating Von Wagner. It's somehow getting Von Wagner over by losing to Edris Enofe. And if that doesn't make sense, imagine writing it down and putting it on TV. Oh, look, a text message. I'd rather read that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to read it out loud, please feel free.
No.
Okay,
it's not that interesting.
Imperium cut a promo backstage. The dastardly heels speak German and Italian.
How dare
heels?
But are these supposed to be live? I can't tell.
What?
Are these is like the backstage promos with Imperium? Are they supposed to be live?
I mean, supposedly, but they have subtitles. So
I was gonna say, do they have just like a really good translator just furiously typing? It's like, oh my god, gonna do it in real time.
The one interesting thing about this promo is that they said that MSK have found a shaman, but they have a general. Does that mean Walter? Does that mean Walter's coming? But also, does that mean Walter is coming to NXT 2.0?
That'd be good. It's like cognitive dissonance. It's like it doesn't work. I want to see Walter in like a colorful Colorful NXT fun zone.
Imagine Walter versus Tony D'Angelo.
Oh my god. I'd rather not. Oh Lord. But hey, if somehow this involves me getting to see Riddle versus Walter, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that. We then got Elektra Lopez versus Io Shirai. Zion Quinn wants to kiss Lopez and brings out some mistletoe, but then Santos comes out and then Io Shirai wins. And then I wrote, I don't care.
Yeah, I've said my bit about this already. Like, does anyone care about the Zion Quinn Elektra Lopez romance?
No.
It's not like Index where people were into it. You know? It's just like, all right, well, do it or don't. Get on with it. Yep. And it seems like they go the way of just like, nah, this ain't gonna work. She's beating you up, pal. She's got her goons beating you up. But then this still happens the next week. It's like, well, kiss or don't. You know, if you wanted to kiss someone that you worked with, you don't have to do it while they're in the middle of a wrestling match. They're there all day. You just go up to them and be like, hey, you know, I know. We work on opposite sides of this babyface heel thing, but you know, I think you're really nice. I'd like to take you out. Merry Christmas, by the way. You know, maybe we could go out and get some Christmas dinner or something like that. Maybe I don't know if you've got any plans or whatever. No, he comes out with mistletoe in the middle of a match. How romantic.
I would just like to reiterate, I don't care. We're getting Brian Kendrick versus Harland next week, and we get the title unification match contract signing next week as well. Then we've got the main event of Tony D'Angelo versus Pete Dunne. Tony D'Angelo does suplexes.
Yeah. This match was fine.
It was all right.
It was fine. Not particularly memorable, but it was like one match on this show that didn't involve some chicanery. So that was nice to see.
I mean, the thing with this is that you remember earlier when Von Wagner lost and then immediately beat up Edris Enofe after the bell to get his heat back.
Oh, that sounds vaguely familiar, yes.
Tony D'Angelo lost and then immediately beat up Pete Dunne after the bell to get his heat back. And then, you know, he hit his hand with a crowbar after the
he went
to end the show. Yep. Did a little
dunk. Dunk.
And that was the show. My note after that was I still don't like NXT 2.0, a rating of I don't care out of 5. And then I made a note to go through my hamper instead of talking about the show on the show, which is what I did.
Yeah, we did that.
So
I did. Okay, now I just did get a text message that says Walter versus Tony D'Angelo would make my brain bleed and not in a good way at all.
Whoever sent that message, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Oh, man.
I mean, NXT 2.0 is not for me. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I just... I think you summed it up perfectly in your... You got another one.
It's like my favorite line from Shrek. You want to hold her? Please!
Then you got to try a little tenderness.
That's some advice for Zion Quinn.
Yeah, shit.
Oh God. I'm gonna go watch Shrek after all of this.
Yeah,
put me in a better mood. Something that's actually well written.
I think you summed it up in your edited review the best, in that the wrestling is a backdrop to everything else they want to do, but the everything else they want to do is really bad. Yeah. So like it doesn't even make up for it. You know, if you want to have a bunch of angles, that's fine as long as they're good angles that lead to a good match at a bigger show. But it's not that. It's just bad angles and bad matches that lead to not much enjoyment at the end of the day. So,
like, you ever notice that like during the Attitude Era there were a bunch of angles that people really remember? Because like Steve Austin driving a Zamboni into the ring was like really cool. Him running over the Rock's car in a monster truck was really cool. Him driving a beer truck was really cool. The cement truck, he got to drive a lot of things. The bedpan thing. Imagine Steve Austin, but all the segments sucked.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have worked. You know? Like you can't. I think there are a lot of really talented people in NXT 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And if left to their own devices and left with people that actually know how to write television, they could have a really good show. It's almost like we had one of those called NXT. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, if you're going to sacrifice wrestling for comedy segments, make the comedy segments good. And this is WWE, and their comedy is like the absolute dirt worst. So that leads to a pretty bad show, and a show that I'm very glad that I don't have to watch again in 2021. Hey,
I do.
I'm not watching this show next week. I'm off.
I've got to watch it next week.
Sorry, pal.
I'm really curious to see what Andy thinks of the show next week. It's going to be me and Andy next week doing the NXT review and also the Raw review. Oh boy, I get to watch Raw
and NXT. That's a week.
That's a real 1-2 punch. Back-to-back days. I'm not looking forward to it.
A real 1-2.0 punch. I was gonna leave. I was like, you do with 5 minutes left of the show. You were playing with fire there, pal. I was like, all right, I'll just back out of StreamYard real quick. I got.
I'll just go watch on YouTube. Tune in.
Just pop into the comment section and be like, all right, Merry Christmas, y'all.
Yeah. I've just had a look at the Ultrachat document. Yeah. And it's just been changed to #RilliamWeagle.
William Weagle.
William Weagle. Oh, goodness me. Joaquin Rocha said, last of the Ultrachats, get those in at WrestleTalk.com/support. Last chance to get those in because this is the last bit we're doing. Joaquin Rocha said, is AJ versus Waller a worse Edge versus Rollins? Hope you boys have a great holiday weekend and thank you for all the amazing content. I don't think they're comparable unless Grayson Waller breaks into AJ's house and then dances around for a bit and then doesn't do anything. That's going to be when the real comparisons start.
Yeah. Man.
Sorry, I'm just having chocolates at the same time.
No, it's cool. It's just like, whatever. It's whatever.
I don't know. Laxmi Narasimhan B said, also, Barrett talking about how Tony was making a statement like he did as the leader of the Nexus. I don't get it. Does WWE want their new fans to search for Nexus WWE online out of curiosity, only to find that SummerSlam match and go, what statement?
I really like Wade Barrett on commentary. But I'm kind of getting tired of how the only thing that he ever is able to bring up is like, well, I was in the Nexus. I was like, man, you really didn't have that interesting of a WWE run, did you?
Bad News Barrett was so good.
Yeah.
I loved Bad News Barrett.
It's like he won King of the Ring.
He did, didn't he?
He was like a 5-time Intercontinental Champion or something. I don't know how many times.
Yeah, and he was the former #1 contender to the WWE title.
He's brought that up a lot.
Yeah.
It's like if he ever talks about something that didn't happen in 2010, I will be surprised.
Yeah, legit, right? Yeah. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. That was great stuff. Scott Martin.
I've got some bad news.
That was much better than mine. Scott Martin's been a member for 5 months in a row. Thank you so much. And so, do you really think this could be a start? Do you think this could really be a start to people from the main roster coming down to NXT? I don't know.
Riddle and AJ now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything that WWE's going to do. I don't think WWE knows what they're going to do. So
yeah, it's nonsensical to try and think long term with this company and such. But I don't think that we're going to get people like when Tyler Breeze and Finn Balor went down to NXT. I don't think we're going to get that, but I think we're going to see a lot more crossover. Like people are just kind of gonna come and go as if it's not main roster and developmental. It's just all WWE.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Marcel Arts says, 1, Walter is literally the last thing that could spark an interest in NXT 2.0 for me. Now, I don't know whether that's saying he doesn't like Walter, so he's not going to spark interest, or he's saying this is literally the last chance for NXT 2.0 to make me interested because Walter's amazing.
I think it's the latter.
Okay.
Because I can't imagine someone not liking Walter.
Yeah, me neither. 2, how is it that this color splat branding does work for me with Critical Role, but not with NXT 2.0? I don't know. They're just done differently. And better.
I don't think Critical Role started off as being gritty and underground and black and gold first.
I mean, kinda did.
All right, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Kinda. Not dark, not black and gold and dark and gritty, but it was like fairly like, it's fantasy. So it's like,
well, yeah,
epic big drums on the intro, and it's this guy with a bloody axe, and he goes roar as he's running and stuff and all that.
Yeah, but were they recording in a dark, dingy university campus where it's like, this is real underground indie wrestling? This is NXT.
Well, no, because it wasn't wrestling mainly.
I know, but like that energy, the underground wrestling energy. You take the underground energy away from NXT, and you've got this.
Yeah,
it's wrestling in a McDonald's play place.
Yeah,
it's colorful and loud and obnoxious.
It's true. And number 3, he said, "Hope you guys have a lovely Christmas time. LIW 444 life." Thank you, Marcel.
Merry Christmas.
Off-color commentary said, "I agree with Pete from earlier. WWE is not a company that has plans. They have whims that may or may not become ideas that may or may not become plans, that may or may not make it to air, that may or may not be done to completion. What a company."
That's a really good way of covering it.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it like that. But it's like, when you don't even fully form your ideas at any point, when it takes like 5 steps to get things to air, and you can lose any part of this plan during those 5 steps, it's like, obviously, no question that things don't end up like making sense on this show.
Zoe Sung says, "I'm only saying that. I'm assuming this is in reference to we work with boomers." Saying, "I'm only saying that because Ollie and Luke blamed younger people for finding a movie made 90-something years ago boring. Also, Pete, I know British sarcasm. I dated a Brit for 6 years. Luke is hard to read. I don't know." He is, in fairness. It's very hard to know. Unless you know Luke, it's hard to know when he's just being sarcastic and when he's trolling you and when he's just being legit. Classic Luke, really.
What also, movie did they think younger people found boring?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like
Citizen Kane? I don't know.
90 years ago. Did someone badmouth the Wizard of Oz or something?
Maybe. I don't know. James Handley says, "I said this to Luke and Ollie last week, and I'll say it again. WWE is a bad dungeon master. I know this because I'm a bad DM. I don't care what the party wants. I force narratives nobody wants, and I hurry stories to get to the cool part. Merry Christmas." Yes.
Speaking his language.
Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life language is what they were insulting for being boring.
Ah, I see.
Which,
thank you, chat.
I'll be honest, mother. I haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life, so I can't comment. But there you go. And last minute from Marcel again saying, "I was meaning The Last Chance. God, Walter is killer. And on Friday, WXW streams Walter versus Cara Noir. That does sound like a lot of fun."
I did know that. That's very exciting. I would want to watch that match. Shout out to WXW. Hi, Dan.
WXW is pretty cool, though they don't have William Weagle, which they which they really, really should. But I think that is gonna do it for this episode of the NXT podcast, which was definitely on topic all the time.
No, we're good. There's stuff happening in the Ultra Chat doc. I was like, do we have one more?
There's stuff happening in the Ultra Chat doc. That's always reassuring.
Yeah, there's one more. There's one more.
Oh, there is one more? Okay, hold on. Tails P says, "Did Von Wagner steal Nia Jax's outfit to make pants? Maybe."
The worst tights.
They're not good, are they?
The worst tights.
He is so generic. His music is so generic. Oh man.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah. I'll be back. Merry Chrysler. I'll be back tomorrow on the AEW podcast with Ollie because today is Luke's last day, so he's going to be off. So it's me and Ollie tomorrow for the thingy bob, the AEW podcast. I don't think there's going to be a Friday show because it's Christmas Eve. There definitely won't be a SmackDown and Rampage review on Christmas Day. Screw that. But there is going to be a Christmas special on Christmas Day, which
literally,
once again,
thank Christ.
Which once again is really bad. It's a bad video. But
can't wait
as a little, I don't know what I want to mention. I don't know whether I want to spoil what the final song we sang on it is. Like we ended the video by singing a song, and I don't know whether I want to spoil what it is here and now.
Leave it as a tease.
It's good. It was
people will watch the Christmas show.
It was fun. It was not a Christmas song, and it was very fun. So there you go. But anyway, that is going to do it. Thank you for the hamper review.
Very quickly, I just want to say my guidance counselor in high school, his name was Chris, and his name was also Mr. Biss. Merry Christmas.
Wait, what? Damn.
His name was Chris Biss.
Yep.
So Merry
crazy.
Christmas. Merry Christmas. It just sounds like you got a stuffy nose, which I do.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
What is this show? That's it.
No.
Drink some more wine. The videos. Press the videos. I've just been on the screen to watch more content. Subscribe.
I'll see you in 2022.
See you later, Tempest. Thanks for all your help and thanks for all your work in 2021. See you in 2022, bud. Have a good Christmas. Thank you all for watching. Press like, subscribe, press the videos. LIW for life.
Woo.
Christmas that Christmas.
Out.
Bye.